Good morning, everyone. This is Pinkie the Housewife. Today is Wednesday, September the 24th. Yes, because I'm looking at it. September the 24th. Do we supposed to be here? I told you all I wasn't going nowhere. I told you all I'm going to be here no matter what. I'm going to be here. Now, I don't know about what everybody else said. I told you yesterday if I do that, let me know. I'm planning on going nowhere. Y'all know I didn't believe that junk. Well, they said it's going to happen today, too. What did they say? What did Joshua say? What did a lot of people say? It's not that I don't believe in the rapture, okay? It's not that. It's not that. I don't believe in man. I believe in God. Yeah. The rapture. Do you believe you're going to be here September the 23rd or the 24th of 2025? Told y'all I wasn't going nowhere. I'll be here doing my live again. I'll be here talking to y'all. Yes. I told you. I hope you all watched the video, my live from yesterday. Did you all watch that live from yesterday? Put it in the chat if you did. Say yes or no. Well, tell you what. Did you think you was going to be here today? Or you was going to be gathered up, lifted up to the clouds and to the heavens? I knew I was going to be here. I don't know about y'all. Hi, Tay Tay. Thank you for being here. Hey, Pinkie, Cheddar Mods can't stay, but we'll rewatch. I hit the like button. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you so much. Hi, Nathan. Thank you for being here as well. And Hepper, good morning to you too. Thank you all for being here, and everybody that's in the bushes and hiding out. Y'all make sure you step out for a moment and hit that like button. Let me go ahead and do the house rules first. Get that on out of the way. Welcome to the Pink House. Welcome. Today is September the 24th. Yesterday was September the 23rd. And like I told y'all, I'm still here. I was going to be here. I wasn't going nowhere, okay? Because I didn't believe what he was saying in the first place. But I did have to report it, okay? Because that's part of my job. That's part of my job as a content creator. Hit that like button, guys, if you don't mind. Hit that like button coming in. Hit that like button coming in. Hi, Sizzling Bunny. Thank you for being here. Hi, Miss Pinkie. You're looking and sounding great today. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Janetta Speaks. No man knows the day, nor our hour of his return. Thank you. Spoken like a true Pinkie the Housewife person. My aunt is this Janetta. Yeah, what the heck? Or the hour, return of the hour. Gotcha, girl. Okay. I knew I was going to be here doing my live today. Couldn't nobody told me differently. But I did wake up to yesterday. It was blue skies and sun and the birds chirping, and I could see the purple flowers over there and everything. But today I woke up to rain. It was raining. I had no idea it was going to rain, but it was raining. It was raining. Let me now this is what it said. This is my thumbnail from yesterday. This is my thumbnail from yesterday, guys. And y'all see it right there. You see what it says? It says, according to social media, the rapture is here. Okay, that's what they said. It is here. And they meant from yesterday, we're supposed to be disappearing. And then today, or today. Like I said, if for some reason, if I just disappear off this line, y'all let me know. But I'm not going nowhere. And I'm not making fun of the people that believed it. Okay? I'm not making fun of them because that's one thing. I'm not making fun of them. You don't make fun of stuff like that. Okay? I'm just saying I wasn't going nowhere. That's all. Let me move this out of the way. Let me see. Let me put it over here. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and get on. Let me, with the matter at hand. Wait. Hit that like button coming in and subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hitting the like button and subscribing is free. It doesn't cost a thing. Okay, when I say it's free. And I want to thank everybody. I do want to thank everybody that helped me to reach to 6,000 subscribers. I think it was Sweet Tea that told me that. Sweet Tea, and then followed by I can't remember. But anyway, I what's today? That was on Monday. Was it Monday or Sunday? Yeah, that was on Monday. I got to 6,000 subscribers. And I know it's not big for everybody, but that's a big deal to me. Okay? Because I'm still kind of new to this YouTube streets. Okay? But I've been around for a few just long enough. But if I average it out, oh shoots, I got to do better, guys. We need to get me. I want to bypass 7 and just go on straight to 8,000 subscribers. We got to get here up and get me on to 8,000 subscribers. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Let me just, there we go. I appreciate everyone that watched and supported my channel to reach my goal, because I've worked hard to get to 6,000 subscribers, and thank you all for helping me. Whether you became a member, whether you just subscribed to the channel, or you always in my chat just hitting that like button, or if you're just hiding from in the bushes and don't do nothing. But thank you for all of you all, whether or not you helped me. Thank you, and much love to everybody. That was on September the 22nd that I became a YouTuber with 6,000 subscribers, and I think I got one extra, so I'm at 6,001 subscriber. Okay, so before the day is over, before this live is over, let's get me to at least 10 more subscribers today. Hi, Sweet Tea. Thank you for being here. Hello, Pinkie. I'm in the bushes at work. Black number 7. Love you, Pinkie. Love you too, Sweet Tea. Love you too. So guys, we need to go ahead and help me to get there. And if you can't get there by yourself, you got to have a whole whole team around you. You got to have your people around you, to get there. And I couldn't have gotten there by myself. It took you all subscribing, becoming members, watching my channel, hitting that like button, and following me every time I go live or drop a video. It takes you all to get me there. And I did not do it by myself. And I appreciate everything that you all did. Much love to everybody. Much love to all of you all, no matter what part you played or how you played it or what you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yes. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get on with the matter at hand today. You know, and I'm glad to see that you all are still here with me. Don't let me just say, oh, now I don't know whether anybody else was taken up, so I don't know. Is that why I only have not too many people in my life right now? Because everybody else was taken up to the skies today or yesterday? If you're still here, let me know. Shout out where you at. Let me know where you're at. Texas, Houston, Mississippi, New Orleans, Montana. Tell me, New York City, LA, Hawaii, from Jamaica. Let me know where you're shouting out from. If you're in Chicago, let me know. I need to know. If you're in Arizona, let me know. You're there with the cactus. And if you're in Las Vegas running around playing the slot machines, trying to win some money, let me know. You're in casinos right now. You're at the casino. Hi, you mad? What is that? You mad? Congratulations. Thank you. And I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being in the live today. So I see everybody here. I hope y'all not going to be snapped up. Well, if you do, that's a good thing. But if it's not, well, depends on who. No, it's not a good thing for everybody because then the people that's not snapped up, gone up to heaven, are we going to be looking like? Let me see. Let me see. Can I find that? Are we going to be looking like? Let me see. Can I find it? This here. Because if y'all are going up to heaven, then sooner or later we're going to be looking like that. I don't want that. Okay. But anyway, let's go ahead and let me see who else I got. Miss Tina. Good afternoon, listening from the bushes too. Okay, Miss Tina, I got you, girl. I got you. Michigan. Oh, Lord. How's the weather in Michigan? How's the weather in Michigan? I know it rained this morning and down in the valley here. All I see is clouds, dark clouds. I don't see no bright sunny. I see dark clouds down there. But I still see my purple flowers, but I see dark clouds. Okay. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna y'all, let me just tell you this. I don't know what's going on. I seen since I've been talking about these pastors, these people that call themselves whatever they want to call themselves, right? Pastor. Now these are men on the street. Now I ain't talking about the God up in heaven. I'm talking about the ones I see walking on the street. Okay, God, pastor, apostle, prophet, whatever you want to call yourself, daddy. Yeah, daddy. I said daddy. That's what I'm getting to. Yesterday, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was last night. Well, that's still yesterday. Okay, I'm minding my own business. I guess because I've been following these cults, cult leader, cult leader, and all this here stuff, right? Minding my own business. A notification came across. I clicked on it and looked at it. What? And I seem like I get about 2 or 3 a day now. This pastor, you know what he called himself? Daddy. Daddy. And it's the weirdest thing. It's like a it's like, you know how we elect our presidents, right? Every 4 years, you know. Or if you run again, then every 8 years. If you win again, you run 2 terms, right? I better get this ready because y'all gonna need it. This daddy, when I say daddy, he called himself God, okay? But you have to refer to him as daddy. Never seen nothing like this in my life. Let me just tell you. Let me make sure I call the names, get all their names. Umar Johnson used to be called Dr. Umar Johnson. He just says he's a psychologist. We knew that was a lie. Well, y'all didn't know, but I dug down in a well and pulled up that it was a lie. A lot of people already said it was a lie. A lot of big time YouTubers already said it was a lie. But I had to dig down and go and find and look that information up. I had to pull records. Man, never was. Okay. He just called Umar Johnson, okay? And everybody knows he's a frauder, scammer, the biggest panhandler on social media. Okay, we all know that. Okay, and a deadbeat dad. And I ain't gonna say this right now because I said it one time and nobody paid attention because I had proof. I had the police record. Is that the police report? Whatever you call it. But I pulled it up. Okay, so I ain't gonna say it right now. I said it when I'm talking about him again. I only said it during that one time, that lie. I never hear nobody talking about it, but I'll talk about it again when I talk about it. But let me just tell you this. These pastors are hoodwinking. Is there a thing called hoodwinking or hoodwink? Hoodwink or bamboozle or bamboozle. One of them. But anyway, doing that, okay, to the people or his congregation, the members of the church. Okay. This one here, he's worse than David E. Taylor to me. No, can't nobody be worse, you thought. He's worse than Ronnie Dennis. Yeah. He about the same. He about the same well, I put him on the same level. But a little crazier. He's worse than the David Koresh. He's worse than the Jim Jones. No, he ain't worse than Jim Jones. Ain't nobody worse than Jim Jones and David Koresh. I take that back. He's just bad. And the other pastors, I ain't got time to talk about them. Guys, he had me rolling. He had me falling on this floor. A man comes into church he arrives in his Rolls Royce and comes into church with all the people, the deacons or his military, his little people that he got on his army military navy suits or what. I think they look more like a navy suit. But anyway, on a chariot. And no, I'm not talking about he's riding a bicycle or they pushing him in a stroller or they pushing him in a wheelchair or nothing like that. Or pushing him in a chair that got wheels. I'm talking about he comes actually in a chariot with gold, but gold all the way around it. With a big giant wheel of a chariot. You know, back in the ancient days where the Pharaoh rides in. Well, you don't ride into church in a chariot. Yeah, the man comes in on a chair, in a chariot. And then they help him to get out. He's so big, he can't even get his own self out of the car. It takes the whole church out there waiting on him to come in. Instead of being inside the church, they're out there waiting on him to come to church so they can get him out of his Rolls Royce and help him to get in his chariot to come up the aisle when everybody's there just greeting him. And then he's sitting up in a chair bigger than mine with a crown or something and all those big things around and all the gold and everything, sitting in this big old chair because he's a big man. Big old, he ain't got no lumpy belly, like a big belly. He got a round, smooth. I bet you go somewhere and get his belly smoothed out. Go to a spa and let them keep that belly smooth because it's big and round and smooth, hanging over all of his stuff. And he's sitting there. And he got these young girls. When I say young girls, he got these young girls standing there with an apron on. I'm literally talking about an apron. They have aprons on. And I wrote it down. It says, when he comes in, enter in the sweet daddy. The sweet daddy enter in. Ooh, I'm telling y'all too much. So, but anyway, the maids. That's what the young girls are called, the maids. He don't, how you got not the deacons, y'all help me out here, guys. Help me out. The women in the I just went for a blank. But anyway, the old women that wears the white gloves and everything, I just went for a blank. But no, he held the young, he don't want no old woman. Oh shit, you get out of the way. He want young girls. I'm talking about the young girls. The kind that the industry, like the music industry, Hollywood and all this stuff, the rap industry, they love young girls. So they can control and mold and take them. Yeah, young girls. He like the young girls. He have the young girls. They call maids, and they have an apron around them. They wear an apron, and they got a fan, and they fan him. They do this here. Big, because he's getting hot up there. The man is hot because he's young. He's big. He ain't little. He ain't no little. He ain't no man with muscles. He's not a little bitty man or a muscular man or just a big. He's a huge man. Men can be big, but they ain't got to be fat. He is huge. Okay, but anyway, they call them maids. These young girls that would stand up on the mountain with sweet daddy and fan him. I wrote it down. Yes, I did. Ooh, Lord. So I put, oh my gosh, by this with a big arrow. Okay. It said the name of Jesus has been replaced with sweet daddy in all the hymn books and all the songs. Anytime the word Jesus, God, or anything like that is in a song, you have to, they removed all of that. And it's sweet daddy. Sweet daddy. Sweet daddy. So if you say, Jesus love me, yes, you say, sweet daddy loves me. Instead of saying, Jesus love me, yes, and you say, sweet daddy love me, like that. Tell me this ain't some crockamany hook wink crockamany mess. This is some crockamany mess. But we're going to talk about that because I'm going to go. Oh Lord, the stuff I found out about this, I was going to go live about it last night, but no, I had to rest. So tonight I'm going to go live about this. I'm going to do a live about this tonight because I cannot hold this. I cannot hold it. I cannot hold this. This stuff is so, because I got to, I got to save them people. I got to save them. Okay. I got to put the word out. Okay. But anyway, let's get into let's get into the story. Okay, let's get into the story now. All right. Let me go ahead, and we're going to be talking about the murder or the unaliving this young girl. Okay. Her name is Celeste. Celeste. No, it's Celeste. Yeah. And she was unalived and 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 stuffed into plastic, put in a trunk of a car, a 2023 Tesla, put in the trunk, and was there for a while. For a while, that her body became decomposed so badly, it took him a while, days, to give us her identity. She was put in the trunk of a car by a man named David. It's not the normal name David. He don't spell it like D-A-V-I-D. No. He spelled it D4D. Well, let me just show you. Okay. Here we go. Did David, D4VD. That's how you spell it. Unalive, Celeste Hernandez. Her decomposed body found in the trunk of his 2023 Tesla. So that's David on the left, the man on the left, and that's Celeste on the right. Beautiful, beautiful teenager. She was not a lady. She was not a woman. She was a girl. She was a kid. She was a teenager, just becoming a teenager. Because this wasn't going on just when she turned 14 or 15. Some people reporting that when they found her, she was 15. Yes, because she had just had a birthday. She spent her birthday in the trunk of her car, unalived. She did not spend her birthday in the trunk of the car by choice. Hi, Missy, Miss Missy. Thank you for coming to the chat. Happy to see you on this September the 24th, Wednesday. Okay. She's a beautiful young girl that spent her birthday in a trunk of a 2023 Tesla, registered to singer David. And he's spelling it D like in David, 4VD. That's how he's spelling his name, because he's an artist. I would call him a very special artist. He's kind of special. She was identified as Celeste. She's 14 years old. Celeste R. Hernandez. Hernandez. She was found in this vehicle. She had been there for a while, that her body was unrecognizable. It was decomposed to the point that it would be hard to tell how she was unalived, unless, when I say unless she was unalived by pow pow or broken bones or some form where it will leave an imprint or a way that they can tell what happened. They're working on that. This story has been taking horrible, horrifying turns. Last night, at the time I was getting my thumbnail and dropping this live for today, he was still out running the streets. When I say running the streets, I don't mean just somebody running the street. I mean, he have not been locked up, put in jail. He has not been arrested at the time. Now, have we been arrested this morning? I don't know, because I haven't checked. Because I woke up just in time to take a shower and brush my teeth and do my live. So I haven't checked. I haven't even been on social media to see nothing going on. But I will be checking. And if for some reason they have arrested him, y'all see my lifetime reaction. Okay? Y'all will see a lifetime reaction on it. All right. I don't know why that popped down. Okay. Let me go ahead. This is sad. I pray for her family. Rest in peace. And I pray for her mother and her family, her brothers or sisters, dad, grandparents, aunts. I pray for them, that they get justice. Because she was not just, she met him on social media. And when she met him on social media, allegedly, if you look at the timeline and how long she was missing and when she first got on social media and they first got contacting each other and stuff and hitting each other back on social media. That's what I mean. She had to be, what, 11? About 11 years old. That's close to being 10. 11. But he wasn't 11 or 10. He was a grown man. What are you doing hitting up and talking to little kids online? Something about that is not sitting right. And then, okay, I'm going to, let me just put this up. Warning: graphic content. The following images in or content may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. So this could trigger a trigger warning for some, okay? It can trigger a trigger warning for some. But we're going to go ahead and let you all listen. All right? Because let me just pull in his name and see have there been any updates to the story. Okay, because I want to make sure I got any updates. And while I'm doing that, guys, let me just say this. This man, I listened to two of his songs. One of them, I listened to it, and then I pulled up the lyrics from that song because me just listening to it, all that mumble, yeah, I had to look at the words, and not just one song, but several songs. To me, he acts out his songs. Whatever he sings about, he acts it out. It's almost like, I'm not calling him a psycho, but it's like a psycho telling you what he's doing. Some psychos, they may write a poem, and people just think they're writing poems. Or and some people, a writer may write a book, and then he acts out his demonistic book, a story, or a poem, or song. For people, So we're gonna go. Let me see. Let me just do this, guys. This is one of the hardest stories that I'm covering right now. This is when I say this is one of the hardest stories that I'm covering right now. It is. It's not just a little bit of hard. It's a big hard on because this is a child that was being groomed. And that's what I'm saying. She was being groomed by this psycho. And I don't mean to call him a psycho because y'all know I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a psychologist. I'm just a housewife. I don't even have a medical degree. Never went to school for a medical degree. But I'm just calling it like my mind see it. Okay? And it's my personal opinion. I'm covered under a section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Okay? I think the man just lost his everlasting mind. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But we're going to go ahead and get into the first video, okay? Because I think it's best if we do it this way. Let me bring up the first video. Let me see who we got in here. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let me just, before we get started, well, I'll tell you what, let me just bring up the video first, and then I'll show you the words to one of his songs. And that song is called Romantic. What is it? Romantic. Romantic. What is it? What is the name of that song? Romantic Homicide or something. What is the name of that song? Let me just go back and see, can I find the name of that song? Oh, tell you what, I'll let you all see me trying to find it. We're gonna do it this way so y'all see me what I'm trying to do. I want to say it's called Romantic Homicide. Okay, this is David's Instagram account, guys. Y'all see it? He got 2 million followers. Ooh, a lot. And he's an R&B he's a singer. Okay. And you can see pictures of him and everything. That's him right there. This was just September the 5th. This was just this month. Okay, let me see. But you don't see him. You don't see him with her on his timeline. But some people have spotted her in different. This is September the 1st. Some people have spotted him in different things. Okay, that's him right there with a blue wig. Look, he got a stocking cap on his head. I guess he pulled the blue wig off, and he's always have his nails painted black. He always have black nail polish on. That's him. Looks like he's at, I don't know where that's at a mall or event or something. I don't know, and I'm not going to try to find out. Y'all can. I want y'all to see who we're talking about first. I'm not going to play none of his videos because that's him there laying on the floor. I'm not going to play his videos at all because I don't want to have to worry about having to take them down. That's him at one of his concerts. You know, he got a big, he got a lot of people that follows him. Happy birthday, 20. Happy birthday, 20th. Wow, you 4. You know, see him. He got his own style and personality. Y'all can see that. He got his own style and personality. Okay? That's him. And this is this year, June. No, this is June 17, 2023. This is back in 2023. This is when he still had that teenager. Called himself dating a teenager. And he's short. He looks like he's probably about my height. I'm short. I'm not saying he's 5'1" or 5 feet, but he looks like he's about my height. Okay. Let me go ahead and put this video on for you. I got several people talking about it, and this story is just devastating. Let me see which one I'm going to put on first. Let me just put this short on right quick. This is 2 hours ago. Oh, this is just 2 hours ago. Oh, I'm glad. No, wait now. Let me see. Okay, this is not too long ago again. It's it's longer than 2 hours ago. But we're getting ready to watch it, okay? All right, here we go, guys. Let me bring it to you. This is not that long. That's why we're watching this one first, so we can get a gist of. And this is Law and Crime Network. I love Law and Crime Network. I really, really do. That information is going to be down in the description box. It says 7 bizarre new claims in David Tesla murder mystery. Okay. So this is new information just reported late yesterday, late last night. Okay. Here we go, guys.
Continue to emerge on the connection between the two. But are all the dots leading to an arrest?
Wait.
A teen girl's body is found in the trunk of a car tied to a rising music artist. Now more details continue to emerge on the connection between the two. But are all the dots leading to an arrest? We're breaking down the latest on where the investigation stands. Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner. The mystery surrounding the tragic death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas deepens weeks after her body was discovered in a trunk. No one has been arrested or even charged, but that hasn't stopped some online from drawing their own conclusion about who they think might be the suspect. So this is what we know so far. On September 8th, the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas was found in the front trunk of a Tesla after the car had been towed to a tow yard in Hollywood. What we know about the condition of how her body was found is unimaginable. Her remains were wrapped in plastic, and according to NBC News, her remains were not intact. So the reason it took so long to ID her body was due to the decomposition of her body. This case has sparked so much interest, especially when it was learned that the Tesla Celeste body was found in was registered to singer David Anthony Burke, better known by his stage name David, but spelled with a 4. Now, as of this recording, David doesn't face any charges, nor has he been arrested in connection to Celeste's murder. But here's why some think he might allegedly be involved in some way. Besides the fact Celeste was found in the car registered to him, her mom told TMZ last week her daughter had been missing since April 5th of 2024 at just 13 years old. Celeste's mom told the outlet she got worried learning the news of a body being found in a Tesla because 1, the police description matched Celeste, 5'1", weighing about 70 pounds, wavy dark hair, but also a major standout, the letters SH tattooed on her finger, which just so happens to match the exact same tattoo David also has on his index finger. And if that wasn't just merely a coincidence, Celeste's mom also told TMZ her daughter had a boyfriend named David. Now, eagle-eyed fans went to David's music also hoping for some kind of clues or possible ties. In one of his leaked songs, David sings about professing his love to someone named Celeste. The verses include, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." The other verse includes, "Oh Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because." Now, the song was reportedly titled Celeste Demo Unfin. It's interesting, though, the timing. The song was leaked in December of 2023, months before Celeste was reported missing. But if the Celeste being sung about is the same Celeste who was found murdered, that means a then 18-year-old David was singing about a 13-year-old Celeste. David's creative visuals have also faced new scrutiny. According to a report by News Nation, the singer allegedly had a casket on stage while he was performing. And in the music video for his song One More Dance, it features a body being dragged and put into a trunk. And in that video, David played both the victim and the killer. But was it all for the artistry or a dark look into his mind? It all depends on how you look at it. But the video also was released back in February, 7 months before the discovery of Celeste's body. His hit song Romantic Homicide has also faced new questions too, for its bloody and violent visuals. But surprisingly, the song has been skyrocketing in streams in light of the investigation. Again, just a coincidence, or is there more to it? The singer has been facing backlash online, not just for the alleged inappropriate relationship, but also some unusual online activity that has some scratching their heads. Some Redditors noticed David's official subreddit has been locked. According to Fox 11, David is listed as the sole moderator of that account, and some users believe that he's been trying to control a narrative by deleting critical posts about him and the ongoing police investigation. This all came after someone who claimed to be a moderator on David's Discord server and Twitch channel claimed that they didn't know about Celeste, nor were they aware of her age or that she was missing. The admin reportedly thought she was 18 or 19. Then you have the photo that surfaced to TMZ of David in Lake Elsinore, where Celeste is from. Detectives seemingly took all of that information in, because soon after, LAPD officers searched a home where the Tesla was reported abandoned. According to ABC, officers spent hours at that home in the Hollywood Hills, where they ultimately seized evidence, including a computer. Now, the house where detectives searched was reportedly rented by a man named Josh Marshall, who just so happens to be David's manager. Detectives were looking for any kind of trace evidence, including blood. The home was reportedly a $20,000 a month rental. And according to new reports, David and his manager abruptly broke their lease just days after police raided the property. In light of no arrests or charges made at this time, David's career is already taking a huge hit. His music label put a halt on his upcoming album release and music promotions. He canceled his world tour and remaining leg of his U.S. tour. And brands including Hollister and Crocs dropped the singer from their marketing campaign. But we could learn more, as investigators are likely anxiously awaiting the medical examiner's findings on Celeste's autopsy, which could reveal a whole lot more and finally start to lead to answers for several unanswered questions. I'm joined now by retired homicide detective Dr. Ken Lang. Ken, thank you so much for being here today. You know, a lot of people have been following this case, but what's your reaction? You have a young teenager found dismembered in the trunk of a singer's Tesla. But I'm curious, we're weeks now into the investigation, no arrests, no charges. How do you think detectives are working the case now at this point?
So right now, the detectives are working this case as a fact-finding case. If you've noticed, the medical examiner has not yet ruled on the cause or the manner of death in this case. And so, in this stage of the investigation, we call this a medico-legal investigation, where investigators, the criminalist, the medical examiner are all working together. They're bringing in the facts that they're seeing, and they're trying to determine what is the cause and manner of death. And so, while it's a fact-finding investigation at this point, we also see foul play. Certainly, so Celeste's body is found dismembered. From the publications I'm reading, it appears that only her torso and her head, wrapped in plastic, were found in the trunk.
Wait now. Did y'all just hear that? Okay. He said, and this is what I heard too. So, and people are saying different things. Different outlets are reporting different things. And I want to know, have y'all heard these allegations too? Okay, it can't just be. Okay, let's get into it. That in one allegation, okay, so, okay, they said the body was wrapped in plastic, okay? Found wrapped in plastic. I guess it won't mess up the Tesla or to keep it from smelling. Body gonna smell, okay? You can put it on a rug, it's still gonna smell, okay? It says that only her torso and her head, wrapped in plastic, was found in the trunk. Torso means this here part, okay? Now it could be the torso with the arms or torso without the arms. It could be the torso with the head, torso without the head. But they said the torso in her head wrapped. So this and this. It didn't say nothing about legs right now and arms or hands or feet. That's a sick individual that can cut off your arms or your legs or the rest of your body, or put your body in parts. That's a sick individual. Now, I don't mean I'm just calling you sick. I really mean you're sick in the head. I really mean you need to be somewhere where there's those kind of doctors that's going to work with that brain up there. Okay? Not a doctor like Dr. Umar, because he ain't no doctor. Okay? I'm talking about a real doctor. Somebody that's certified to do that. Okay? He's sick. I'm just saying. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. And let me just.
So then investigators should be looking for a place, a scene where that dismemberment happened, and where are the
So if
arms
they
and
talking
legs
about her, okay, dismemberment, dismemberment happened, and where are the arms and legs? So that takes a whole new spin. So that means only the head and the torso. There's no arms and there's no legs. Because I said you could have a torso with the arms, or the torso without the arms and without the legs, or without the head. But they got the head and they got the torso, but where's the arms and the legs? Ooh, my Lord. Where are the arms and legs? So that means she was dismembered. Dismemberment. The dismemberment happened somewhere other than inside the car. So there, and then picked up, placed on plastic, wrapped up, and then removed from that spot into the car. That's a whole lot of brain power working. That's a whole lot of thinking. That's a whole lot of knowing what you're doing and how to do it. Oh my Lord. I wonder, have we done this before? I wonder, well, I'm going to say the person. I wonder whether, because the person is proven the person is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Okay? Let me just put that out there. So the person, whoever did it, whether it was him or someone else or someone helped him, I wonder. I digress. I digress.
Celeste, and those pieces of information could become vital because they may show signs or injuries or other information for the medical examiner in helping to determine a cause and manner of death.
And it's just horrible, like rethinking about those gruesome details, especially with how young Celeste was. And what do you think is going to be more important? Is it going to be the fact finding, or is it going to be the results of the autopsy report?
Well, both are interlinked together and inextricably. And so that the facts that we find and the facts that reveal themselves are going to give that information to the medical examiner to make that determinant for the cause and manner of death. And so in investigations like this, that's paramount, particularly when you're looking to see if there was any criminal activity and if there was, what exact criminal activity had happened. Because right now, there is the possibility that she could have died of natural causes, say, for example, an overdose. And then people decided we need to remove her body or dispose of her body in a way that doesn't link her to us. Or it could be that there's a criminal intent and that the injury was inflicted upon her. And that, again, so those facts that they find from all the examination of the entire body as a whole becomes paramount in making that determination.
So I feel like everything that we know right now, we still need to know so much more. But with everything we do know now, Ken, I'm curious to know your thoughts on whether or not all of this is just a really bad coincidence, or does it look like there's enough evidence kind of pointing to the singer David as having something to do with Celeste's murder?
And so at this point, I don't know that there is. I don't see enough probable cause to even point to murder yet. Again, the medical examiner is going to have to rule, and without that, a prosecutor is really not going to be able to move forward. Their hands and feet are going to be bound in any criminal pursuit of charges in that way. What was the other part of your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, of course. I was just going to ask, do you think that we have enough evidence kind of pointing to the singer as being responsible, or do you think that everything just right now is just a really, really bad coincidence?
So right now, regarding the evidence, it's as you say, a bad coincidence, or it's really circumstantial, if you will. There's no direct evidence to show that David did anything to cause the death of Celeste and then to dismember and dispose of the body, other than we have her body in the back of his Tesla and it's dismembered, but we don't even have proof to say that he did that per se and not somebody else that he might be associated with.
And do you think, with kind of a lot of people having eyes on this case now, and
let me ask you, they haven't arrested him, but they know, I'm quite sure they could, just like the detectives, social media content creators and bloggers, every content creator or blogger, not everybody is a PI, a private investigator or detective. We play that role so well. I tell you, I don't understand why they don't see the text. I guess they are, but I don't know. This man, if he's still running around, he can do this to somebody else. If you can do that, he's innocent and proven guilty in a court of law. But if you can do that, what else can you do? And got to remember, she's a child. Okay. What is a child doing in your car? What is a child doing wrapped up and unalive in your car? That alone is enough to pull you in for questioning. That alone is to hold you until they can do something. I'm not saying arrest the man. I'm just throwing out what I'm thinking out loud. And it's my opinion. Everybody got a right to their opinion. We want to know who did it. We want to know why is she in your car? Or did you know why she's in your car? Or who put her in your car? Who do you think that can put her in your car? You know what I'm saying? Have you missed your car? When the last time you drove your car? When the last time you seen your car? You know what I mean? Just saying.
Terms of kind of the armchair detectives, or how some people would say internet sleuths or internet vultures, do you think they're helping or hindering the case in terms of maybe just over inundating detectives with information just because they want to get justice for Celeste and also possibly solve a crime? Do you think that those who are just curious about the case, who are just throwing in tips to detectives, do you think that that's helping the case at all in terms of finding new leads possibly?
So overall, as a detective who's worked homicide investigations, you're very aware of the court of public opinion. And the reality is these detectives are not sitting down and really watching too much of the news, the media feed, and all that information as much as they are working the case and filling it out with plugging the holes where they have the gaps of information that they need. That isn't to say that they're not that someone isn't monitoring the news to see if there is a witness or if there is somebody.
That's what I was going to say. He said they're not just sitting around monitoring you. I was begging the difference on that. And I was saying to myself, they got somebody sitting there watching and on social media because they know the internet detectives are at your service. Internet detectives are going to find out what happened. Thank you, YouTubers. Thank you, bloggers. Thank y'all, internet TikTokers. Thank y'all, internet security and security personnel to see. Let's watch this here. Internet detectives and internet investigators. Yes, y'all doing a great job. I think they're helping.
Who is paramount to bringing more information into this investigation. So you may have a bystander, you may have a witness who's been communicating with some of these people who may have brought in a lead to them that becomes important. And so as those leads come in, detectives are going to go through those leads. They're going to look at what is the viability of this? How valid is this lead? And often the leads that become important in an investigation will have some sense or a little piece of information that's not commonly known to the public, but is known to the suspects involved and the investigators conducting the investigation.
And so do you think it's a rush to judgment for some fans who are already thinking that David might be a suspect in this or have something to do with this? Because I mean, when you're talking about just some of the facts that we've learned so far, such as the age difference between the two, the fact that Celeste was found in his car, the fact that the car was found at a home near where he and his manager had rented out this house in the Hollywood Hills. Do you think that people, though, are still rushing too much to judgment, thinking that he had something to do with this murder or this homicide investigation?
I think that the people aren't necessarily rushing to judgment as much as they're letting their suspicion be aroused, much like a detective would in the investigation. And so, information's coming out in this case where she may not have necessarily conveyed that she was a runaway, or may not have conveyed what her age was. And in the criminal world, or when they're involved in those kinds of activities where age, such as sexual activity, and age are primary elements, depending on what crime you're looking at. That becomes
word on the street from all over social media. This young teenage girl, Celeste, allegedly was pregnant by David. David said in a post that alleged post that, but I saw the post that they got a baby on the way. Yeah, they got a baby on the way. Okay.
That becomes important. That becomes a flag or a signal for us to start looking at, did they know? Didn't they know? But just because they didn't know doesn't mean that that's an excuse that excludes them or prevents them from being convicted of a crime. And so with this, the information coming in, as it's arousing the suspicion, detectives think about those things. We think about could have. sexual misconduct occurred here. Was it consensual? Was it not consensual? What does this look like? What information are we?
What now? We're talking about a child. You say stuff like that when you're talking about two grown-ups. You're talking about people that, a woman that's of a legal age, or is a grown-up. Grown. This child wasn't even over 15. She had a birthday. Her birthday was while she was in the trunk of that car. She couldn't even have a birthday because she was unalive in the back of a trunk of in the trunk that was in the front of the 2023 Tesla. She was a child. There's no way a child can consent. He was a grown up. He was a grown man. He got the authority over that child. He can consent. She cannot consent. Even if she didn't say no. Even if she just said, okay, she's a child. A child would say, okay, if you ask them what kind of cereal, do you want Rice Krispie Pops or Tony the Tiger cereal or whatever, Sugar Pops or whatever you want to call them, Fruit Loops? Yes. Give me a break. You can't say that. Consent. Just like you can't consent when you are under the influence of alcohol or under the influence of drugs. You can't consent. Your mind is impaired. You're talking about a child's mind. Of course, you can read and write and talk and jump rope and ride a bicycle and get on social media. Yes. But nevertheless, that's a child.
As far as tangible evidence that we're getting. So, for example, do we have text messages or communications between different individuals? What's the content of that? Does that lead us to look more in one direction or to look more in another direction?
So, Dr. Ling, I'm curious what your thoughts are on a possible criminal profile attached to somebody who might have been involved in this. I'm not necessarily talking about David or the singer, but if somebody was behind the murder of Celeste Rivas, what would their criminal profile possibly look like?
Ooh, so that's a good question. I don't know that I could really answer that because I don't necessarily have the psych background for that. But what would a suspect look like? And so let's take the facts of the case as we know them now. That is, her body was found badly decomposed. It's just the torso, the head. She's been mutilated. Obviously, this is somebody who did not want investigators, one, to find the body, and was successful for some time for her body to decompose over a period of time. And two, once found, didn't want her to be identified. So there seems to be a nexus to some connection with her. She is a young, attractive woman, and certainly this a possible involvement in a relationship, whether consensual
I got
or
a
not.
problem with him keep calling, thinking this is a woman. She wasn't even 15 when she was unaligned. She was still 14. Her birthday wasn't until she was in the trunk came around. She is not a woman. She can't consent. I don't know whether this is his way changing the narrative or that good old boy kind of talk. You know how that good old boy kind of talk. Men stick together. Women, it's a woman's fault. It's even a kid's fault. Even a teenager's fault. Even somebody that's 10 and 11 years old is their fault. You know how the old people you would tell the child, stop being fast. Stop running around twisting in front of your uncle. You ain't running around doing nothing. That's uncle been messing with you. And she should tell uncle, get the hell out of my house. Or I'm getting ready to call the police because you messing with my child. Or my grandchild or my great-grandchild. I think that's the part that's got me kind of triggered. Consent, when he said the word consent, and when he said the word a young woman. She ain't even a woman. She's not even a young woman because she's still a child. So when do men consider a child a woman? Just because somebody groomed her and SA'd her, now she's a woman? Just because you think, just because some man SA'd a child, now that child is a woman, a young woman, that child consented? No, that is all wrong. That is wrong.
Not it is important to look at too with regards to that profile of the suspect. There's information that came out in some of the publications that there was a young lady in one of David's videos that looks like Celeste, but they didn't sound like they could give a positive identification to that. Is there
a woman in his video? I've seen that video and I saw that girl that looks like Celeste. Yes. Or that teenager that looks like Celeste. And even if she is a young woman, she didn't look like she's old. She didn't look like she was 25 and 26 and 30 and 35 and 40. No, she didn't look like that. She looked like real young, like Celeste. So I would say a young girl or a teenager or another female that looks like Celeste. He trying to say, he keeps trying to say this is a woman. It's just bothering me.
Some attraction there with that. And so certainly you start looking at the possibility of, could this have been a meeting by chance? She runs away from home, meets him, and then runs away to be with him because of some romantic relationship. And then it goes bad. Something happens, something goes awry, and then she meets a demise.
It's just horrible, the circumstances overall, because again, Celeste was so young. She had her whole life ahead of her, and then this happens to her. And I'm hoping that she and her family get justice at some point. My final question to you, Dr. Lang, is how long do you think it'll be before an arrest is finally made, if an arrest is finally made?
At the top of the show, we were talking about the importance of the medical examiner and what those findings are going to be. It was always my experience that it would take about 10 weeks from the day of autopsy before an autopsy report would be issued. Currently, the medical examiner's office has deferred her findings. They're waiting for toxicology to come back, and they're also waiting on if there's any further evidence that is relevant to that determination of cause and manner of death. And so I would certainly say a few more months before we have all that information and better know and understand. And then if there is information revealed that there is foul play, that there are injuries that would have caused the death, and then this is ruled a homicide, then at that point,
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Foul play is ruled a homicide. Of course, she didn't wrap herself up in plastic. She did not cut off her own legs and arms. She did not cut off her legs and arms, then take her torso in her head and roll them around and get in some plastic and then jump in the back of the table. in the front trunk of the Tesla. And it said, and then lay there and there. Now I'm going to just lay here with the trunk down so somebody can find me later on and miss my birthday. This also gives the person that owns that Tesla, that 2023 Tesla, time to get out of Dodge. When I say get out of Dodge, I mean run away. I mean, like he said, she ran away. To get out of Dodge or to leave the country. To get out of the USA. You're giving them free reign to go and do whatever he want to do. Oh, Lord. I don't know. This got me so ticked. This got me so ticked. I'm going to just say this. I can tell you this was foul play. When I say foul play, I'm meaning this was, she did not unalive herself. Okay? In my opinion. And I can honestly say she did not cut off her own legs and her own arms. And she did not wrap her body in plastic. And she did not hop herself in that trunk and close the trunk door. Okay? She did not unalive herself somewhere else, do all this and leave her legs and arms somewhere, and then manage to get herself in that trunk and close the door. She did not do all of that. So if she didn't do it, what's how Psycho did do it? Even if he's not a psycho, he just a demon, demonic. Just a demon boy, a demon man.
Investigators are going to have to link that injury to the actual suspect. And so how long that takes, well, that's going to depend on how many interviews they've conducted, what information they've learned from those interviews, and again, what other tangible information they have that's external from those interviews, such as messaging and emails, phone calls, text messages, all internet searches, so on and so forth.
And I guess we'll see once all of that comes to fruition. Again, Dr. Ken Lang, I want to thank you so much for your time and your insight into this case. I really appreciate it.
Thank God he's a doctor. And he ain't an attorney, because he wouldn't be mine. I wouldn't even have him as my doctor. I don't like how he's laboring things. But I can understand, not your patient. Okay, and you have to be generalized. Okay, I understand that. I truly understand it. Oh, Lord. Guys, this is, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Whew. I think this is going to be a trial. I think this is going to be a big trial. Yes. I think it's going to hit the airwaves big when he is arrested. It's going to hit the airwaves big because when there's a trial, you find out more information. And let me pull up that song. When there's a trial, you're going to find out more information. And it's going to be big. You have a song that's called Romantic Homicide. Okay. That's, see it right there, the album right there, or CD, whatever. Homicide. It's the third single release. Let me pull it over here so I can look at it. How did I get that up there? Oh, Lord. Lord. Okay. It's the third single release from Logic 2019 album, Confession of a Dangerous Mind. Confession of a Dangerous Mind. Ooh, Lord. I'm not going to look at some of these words. Let me, okay. D4 or David's Romantic Homicide surges on Spotify amidst the investigation into body found in car. That's David right there, guys. Singer David Music is getting a huge streaming boost on Spotify as his song Romantic Homicide hits the top 10, the first time in years, weeks after police find a decomposing body in a car registered under his name. And that's a picture of David right there, guys. Key facts: Romantic Homicide, David's biggest hit that went viral on TikTok in 2022, hit number 8 on Spotify U.S. Daily Song chart Monday. The song highest peak in years because of what? Because a body was found. Because Celeste, 14-year-old body, she turned 15 then, but at the time of her being on the live, she was only 14 years old. Body was found in the trunk of his 2023 Tesla that his song, Romantic Homicide, hit number 8 on Spotify. Okay. His music, not just that song, but a lot of his other songs have went up. He's getting a lot of play on his music now because people are looking at his music, seeing that he is acting out his music. When I say acting out his music, he is actually acting it out. Police, well, I'll tell you what, I got the video on talking about, instead of me going through that, I'll just show the video instead of reading that, okay? Okay, instead of going through that, I'll just let the video play. Oh, let me get that video. Just let it play so y'all can see it. And Nancy Grace, she talked about it as well. Nancy Grace talked about it. Everybody's been talking about it. I know some people say they haven't heard, nobody's talking about it. It depends on what sector or who you're watching. If you see what I'm saying, it's who you're watching. So that's all I can say. It's who you're watching. If you're just gonna watch the same old that same old. When I say the same old, I literally mean you ain't watching nobody else but this. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Hi, Terry. Thank you for being here, listening in the background while working. Okay. Thank you. And guys, let me just say this, since she's in the chat. Terry Matthews is one of the people that won the $50 cash for naming my favorite restaurant. And Black Titanic was the other person that won the $50 for naming my favorite restaurant. And so I know it was, the rules was for it to end on September, the last day of September, but September the 30th, I think it was at 12 midnight. It's over now because I already got my winners. Okay. I only said it was going to be one winners. I went on and accepted two because Black Titanic guessed it like that. The minute I put it out, she guessed it. And she said she remembered all the restaurants that I talk about. So she started looking at my restaurant videos. And I think Terry said the same thing. So they won. They was my two winners. So let me go ahead, and here it is. It's running across the bottom of the screen, guys. It says, congratulations, Black Titanic, Terry Matthews. Let me see what else it says. The two winners of the Can You Guess My Favorite Restaurant? That was a question. Can you guess my favorite restaurant? Winner, they win $50 each in cash. Congratulations, Black Titanic and Terry Matthews. Black Titanic is a content creator, guys, and a dear friend. So Black Titanic is a content creator. She did win. And Terry. Thank you, Terry, for being here. And when I say $50 cash, I actually mean $50 cash. Okay? You don't get no money order, no food stamps, no nothing. She gets cash. Okay? Be looking for your you are welcome, Terry. I will be doing a new one. I got to think of something this week. I'll think of, because remember what I said, when I hit 6,000, we're going to really start doing a lot of things. So that was to bring it in, because you all have been so good to me. So, and so supportive of my live and my channels. Okay. So I got to think of something this week. I don't know what I'm going to think of. I'll think of something. Okay. For us, another question or a game or something. I'll think of something. Something's going to pop. Okay. Yes. I'll try to, I'm going to ask my kids and see what they can come up with, because, they're young people. I'll ask one of them and see what they can come up with for me. What should I do this time? Should I? No, I'm going to ask my kids. I'm going to let my kids be the person that I get that from. Either them, and then I'll make the final decision out of what they say. Okay? But we're talking about Celeste, the young teenage girl, the young girl, the teenager, the kid that was found in David, the singer, car, the trunk of his 2023 Tesla, body decomposed so badly that it was hard to, that they could not just say it was her. Okay. A decomposed body badly. And only the head and torso was found wrapped in plastic and the Tesla trunk of the Tesla. Okay. And how that body became to be found was because it was parked out on the streets. The neighbors could not stand the stink of coming from the car. So they called the police. The police had the car towed, and it was towed to a tow yard. And I think by the next day or whatever, or a day or so, the people at the tow yard called the police again. They decided to call the police because they smelled something badly coming from the car. And I think they had an idea of what it may be. So they waited till the police got there, and they opened up the trunk of the Tesla, and that's when they found the decomposed body wrapped in plastic with only the head and the torso, no arms and no legs. Okay, now right now they're waiting on the toxicology report and the autopsy from the coroners, and also he have not been arrested. Why? I don't know. Why is he still running around on the streets? I don't know. Why he's not sitting there? Why don't we know about whether he's been questioned or interrogated or anything? Why? I don't know. The man is free to run around the streets, free that he can go and probably, knowing being an artist with all that kind of money, you can just hop on up, charter yourself a plane, and you can go on out of the country. I'm not giving him no ideas, but it can happen. You know what I mean? They can say, you want to go here and just get out and go. Who's going to stop him? Not his handlers, because they work for him. Not his managers, because they work for him. Do you see what I'm saying? They don't tell those kind of people no. They don't know what the word no means. So that's about the size of that. Now let's we got time for a little bit more. This is News Nation, guys. I watched this yesterday. Okay, I watched it yesterday. I'm trying to get it out, and then I'm gonna be bringing more to you all as soon as it gets to me. As soon as I get it, you all are gonna get it. Okay. This is News Nation. A vigil was held for 15-year-old found in Tesla, registered to the singer David. And the tattoos, she did have tattoos on her finger that matches his tattoos on his finger. Now, I didn't know if you're underage, a child like that, of her age, can go get tattoos without parent approval. You see what I'm saying? Or was he the parent at the time? Okay, here we go, guys. We have just enough time for this video.
D4DV. I know it's strange.
Oh, let
I
me
can tell you right now, cops do not like coincidences. And that goes double for cops who are investigating murders of runaway teenagers, especially runaway teenage girls. That fact has got to be hitting home tonight, literally, for the singer known professionally as David, spelled D4VD. I know it's strange, but it's pronounced David. His legal name is David Anthony Burke. And it is quite possible that's the name that was included in the warrant last night that was executed to search the home where he's been living. It's also the same name that's said to be on the title of the impounded Tesla, where the body of a dismembered and decomposing teenage girl was found by police in the trunk, or should I say frunk, the front trunk. That was 1 week ago Monday. If you were with us here last night, you know that that body has been identified as Celeste Hernandez, whose family reported her missing in April of last year. And get this, she may not look it in this picture, but she was just 13 when she went missing.
13.
Celeste's birthday, the 15th birthday, was the day before her body was found. But since it was the stench of rotting human remains that led the impound workers to call the LAPD, it is almost certain that Celeste did not live to see 15. For David, who's now on a world tour, none of this is good news, but it's not bad for him yet.
Wait, I do want to say, I was told and I read too, his world tour was canceled. It was canceled. Now, whether all dates and places was canceled, but I know I did see and I heard and I read that it was canceled. But that's just what I heard. Okay, and this is 2 days ago. She's updating us on what happened.
Legally speaking. That said, here are some of the bizarre coincidences that you cannot ignore in this murder case. This murdered teenager and the up-and-coming singer both have the same tattoos on their right index fingers, reading, "Shh." To be fair, it is a popular tattoo, SHHH, far from unique. But Celeste's mother says that her daughter was dating somebody named David when she went missing. And yes, David is a common name. I get it. Then there's the photo. A photo of David, the singer, in Celeste's neighborhood, not far from her house, minutes actually walking, right before she disappeared. And should I say that Celeste's house is like over an hour away from where David was living, so not likely just to be there for no reason. And now we know that in December of 2023, a song leaked out that is highly curious in retrospect. It is a demo track by David, and it's called, say it with me now, Celeste. The name of the song is Celeste, and it's all about his love for a girl who's named Celeste. Still, there was no indication that LA police were connecting the dots until last night, when homicide detectives raided a home in the Hollywood Hills. Now, it just happens to be the very same area where the Tesla had been abandoned and then towed. Yet the neighbors say that that Tesla has been parked regularly in front of the home that was raided. And in a town full of Teslas, you're going to find out why.
Now, one thing I like the way she's doing this. She is explaining it so well and so precise where you understand everything she's saying. You see what I'm saying? I love the way she explaining it. Good afternoon, Pink Glover in chat. Thank you, Queen, for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Today is September the 24th, which is Wednesday. It's like the guy said, it's the rapture. We don't supposed to be here. He said 1,000,000,000% sure, but I always said, I don't believe in man. I believe in God. Okay? So only God knows. Okay. But thank you. And I said yesterday during my live, if I blink away and like that, let me know. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Lord. Thank you. We're talking about the young girl Celeste that was found in the trunk of the 2023 Tesla, registered and owned by David, the singer. The young girl, because somebody on another video was calling her a lady, a lady, a woman. That she's a kid, she's a teenager, she's a girl. So that's what we're talking about right now, and I'm loving the way it's being explained here on News Nation.
In just a moment, why this Tesla was so memorable to the eyewitnesses who said, oh, it is that one. That's the one right there that was parked outside the home. TMZ reports that that home was most recently occupied by David, the singer, David Anthony Burke, even though it was rented by David's manager. Police reportedly seized a computer and quote unquote other items. And I talked about all of this and more today with TMZ executive producer Charles Ladebaudiere. And before I play you our conversation, I should note TMZ's reporting was instrumental in helping the police identify that the young victim in the trunk was Celeste Hernandez. Here's my interview. Charles, this story seems to really be getting legs. What happened today with the house where David had been staying? Tell me about that.
Yeah, this house where David had been staying at least earlier this year, probably even further back, police had a search warrant. They got a search warrant, and they finally went through the house last night. We got some information about what they were looking for there. We know that there were photos of detectives leaving the house with a computer and then several other bags of evidence, evidence bags. We don't know exactly what they pulled out of there. We know what they were looking for, and it is very clear that they are trying to connect the victim, Celeste Hernandez, to that home, and obviously to David also. We should say the home is about a block and a half away from where David's Tesla was parked when it was towed to an impound yard.
Okay, that's important. The proximity between this home that was investigated and searched and where the Tesla was found. That's key. I have seen reporting that neighbors had seen a Tesla parked outside that home.
Yeah, that very Tesla. We've spoken to several neighbors who said that the Tesla with the Texas plates, which is what makes it stand out here in LA, a black Tesla with those Texas plates. You know, it was registered to David, who is from the Houston area. So we know that that Tesla is his. The thing that's still not clear is who was actually driving the Tesla when the body was placed in the car, who parked it where it was eventually found and impounded. Those are the dots that still need to be connected here. But as for this house, it's very clear that this is where David was staying. There are lots of photos that he posted from that home. You know, he entertained people there. Benny Blanco came over and he posted some photos with him. The group Cat's Eye was there. They recorded a video with David, like a TikTok video with David in that house. So this is where he apparently was staying and clearly entertaining friends and, you know, posting content from that home. So the one thing we have not seen is a video of Celeste or photos of Celeste in that house. Now, other photos have surfaced showing, it seems pretty clear at this point that David and Celeste had a relationship. There's a live stream that was resurfaced where they were talking to some of his fans, and also a photo of David and Celeste out at an event somewhere in LA in, it appears, October 2023, because there's a photo of David and Billie Eilish at the same event from that date.
In October of 2023, she'd have been just turned 14.
Yes.
No,
I
just
believe
turned 13.
13, and
He
he
was
would
13.
have been, so 2023, he would have been 17 or 18.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
legal.
Yeah. That
Not
is
legal. If
That is
anything,
another part
Still
of
not
this.
legal.
If
Yeah,
it was a romantic relationship, yes, certainly.
He could have been locked up if they
we
knew.
haven't seen anything like sort of PDA or kissing or anything that would make you think that we could say for sure this was a romantic relationship. But what is clear is they spent a lot of time together. What the nature of the relationship is, we don't know for sure yet.
okay, well, I'm going to skip ahead to something I was going to ask you in a minute, but I'm going to go there now. Maybe we don't have pictures or anything of them indicating anything romantic, but there's art, there are songs, and now everything's being looked at through a microscope. Tell me about a leaked song called Celeste.
Yeah, the lyrics to this song now, like you said, looking through today's lens, very interesting. This is a song, it was unreleased, but it did leak on SoundCloud in in December of 2023. Some of the lyrics, and again, the title was Celeste. It says, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed."
That's 2023.
December of 2023, right?
Like 4 months before she disappeared.
Right, and actually, I believe there was another time. It appears that I don't know if it was she had run away or just that she was not contacting her mother, and so there was in January of 2024 a missing report, and then again another one in April. So her home life is also something we're looking into because it's clear that this was not a stable situation, and that she was in and out of the house. We also know that, there was a photo, and we don't have a date for this one yet. There's a photo of David in a parking lot in Lake Elsinore, California, which for people outside of LA, that is a place that's about 70 miles east of LA. So it's not like right around the corner. And David was in a parking lot there in Lake Elsinore, which is where Celeste and her family live. They're from Lake Elsinore. So
Yet
at
another
that point-
coincidence.
yes. And by the way, that parking lot, we looked at it on we geotagged the photo and looked at it. Is about a 6-minute walk from Celeste's home where her mom lives anyway.
Then there's another singer. There's another song that I
yeah.
find disturbing. It's 2022, and it's called "Romantic Homicide."
It is
And
one
there's
of
some lyrics there that are
2022.
disturbing.
it is actually one of his
She was-
biggest hits. If you look up
she was
David's
12.
songs on a streaming platform,
I think.
Romantic Homicide is usually near the top, if not the top song. And some of the lyrics from that song, he says, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you."
Important
Again,
to say, no mention of the name Celeste here.
no
and
mention
if
of
I'm
Celeste in there.
doing the math, correct me if I'm wrong, she'd be 12 in 2022.
Yeah, we don't know when they
Mhm.
first, met, when their friendship or whatever it was
I think
began.
it was 20. She
But
was 11.
obviously, there are a lot of images now of
She
them
was 11.
together. They had some sort of relationship, and now clearly police are trying to connect those dots as well. I got to tell you about the search at the house. We know what while we don't know what they actually left with, we know from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. They were looking for blood evidence. We're told that the detectives went through the house. There was with luminol, thinking that if whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So they were using luminol around the house. They were checking drains to see if there's any, blood evidence or, blood or tissue that was in the drains there. So they did a scouring of this house looking for any evidence. Again, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but our law enforcement sources say when they executed this search warrant, that was on the list, a very long list of things they were looking for in that house.
That's very painful to hear, because we know that this body was dismembered and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened.
Right.
And also, just remind me, this house is being rented by David's manager.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that David is a very young, he's 20 years old. So from what we've seen as listings, this house is going, $20,000 that it can be rented for $20,000 a month. It is a large home. It's an estate, really. That's not the kind of thing even a famous 20-year-old could do on his own typically. So it is his manager, a guy who is connected to Interscope Records.
Josh Marshall is his name,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So he is the person we found out who was actually on the lease, who was renting this. But again, from all the photos that David has posted, it's very clear he was staying in this home, if not all the time, frequently he was staying there.
Was the focus just on the house, or did they look elsewhere around the property?
They looked around the entire property. There's the house, there's a yard also where they could have searched for.
What about a garage?
Yes, there's a garage there. In fact, I want to say it's a 3-car garage that they went into. They searched there. But
I mean, my mind, being in true crime, goes to Dexter, and garages are often one of the places of choice, for this kind of macabre behavior. Yeah.
What did she say? Her mind goes to Dexter. There's a show that I used to watch. I forgot what it was on TV, what channel or whatever, but it was a I don't know. But anyway, my husband and I used to watch it every time. We didn't miss an episode. It's called Dexter. Dexter was a man that goes around, I think it was in California too, to right the wrongs of people that's been victims or hurt or done wrong. When people, for instance, if somebody a woman or girl or child, or they pat a, fouls, fouls, pat a, and then a foul, that he would, when he found out through the news media or from TV or through social media or whatever, or by looking up them to see who's in the neighborhood, he goes around and he makes sure he unalive you. And he took great pleasure out of cutting you up in pieces, dismembering your body and dropping it in the ocean or the lake or the river, where nobody would ever find you. And he was good. He was very good at what he did. He prepared the whole scene. He would have the whole walls covered in plastic, the floors covered in plastic, the furniture. And they always had a big long table, a big sturdy long table, and then all his stuff. Oh yeah, I used to watch that movie. And that's what she's saying. Being a true crime goes to Dexter, and garages are often. Yes, that's the show called Dexter.
Yeah. And then do you have any information on purchasing? Like, was anybody within David's orb purchasing things like the kind of supplies you would need for this kind of an operation? Sometimes the Home Depot, sometimes Walmart. People go in with big cleaning supplies, drop sheets, even tools, that kind of thing.
I know where your mind is going, Ashley,
Yeah.
and I wish I could say we don't know at this point, but it has been very difficult, I will say, to speak to people in David's orbit, that close friends. As you would imagine, most people are pretty tight-lipped and not willing to say anything at this point because they know what's going on. They know this case has been getting a lot of attention here in LA and growing in the attention it's getting around the country. They know what police are looking for, and so they have not exactly been forthcoming with a lot of information.
Well, you know how that works, Charles. The minute arrests start happening, people start talking because nobody wants to be on the business end of a charge connected with accessory, after or during, or conspiracy. I mean, these are the kinds of things that make the concentric circle squeeze to the player they're looking for. And I'm not saying it's David. I'm not saying it's his manager. It could be any of the above. You never know. It could be anybody. But just what about David himself? Like, what's going on with him? Is he in hiding? Is he under arrest? What are his management and endorsements? What's happening with him?
Boy, I wish I could tell you all. Here's what we know about David. The last place he was seen publicly for certain was in Seattle when he performed 2 nights ago. He had a show that was scheduled last night, but that one was canceled. And while we figured that he would be coming back to LA, we know that he has an attorney. We have not positively seen him yet. There was a sighting of someone that someone believed to be David, but we can't confirm 100% it was him. So we're on the lookout trying to find out where he is, but we have not seen him yet. And interestingly, he had shows scheduled here in LA this weekend. He was supposed to be playing at the Greek Theater. And what's really creepy and eerie is that you could go online right now as we're speaking and buy tickets to the show in LA. And also there's a show scheduled in San Francisco Friday night that has yet to be officially canceled. So, look, that may change. This is as we're speaking right now, but I would expect it would be really bizarre to see him on stage performing as if nothing's going on when we know police have searched the home where he was living and what we know about his own car and what was found there.
We can't calculate our total
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know I was muted. As you all know, he is still out. He have not been arrested or anything. So he's still running around, and he still got tour dates as of 2 days ago, and he have one for Friday. And that one haven't been canceled, and that's this Friday coming up. So, but at one point, I did hear and I did see that his tour has been canceled. But as for the vineyard, I don't know. He just said 2 days ago, TMZ just said, Charles just said, you can go online and see the Friday one is still sitting up, but who knows? Okay. But my understanding is the tour has been canceled. But we'll see. We'll see whether he's going to pop up. And rest in peace and prayers go out to her family, Celeste family. All right. And I hope they hurry up and get to the bottom of this. I don't want him to be able to, whoever the person may be, or whoever helped him, or whoever's involved or got information. I wish they would come forward, but we don't want him. Oh, I'm getting sleepy, guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting sleepy. I woke up early this morning to do this 12 o'clock live. Because normally I'm waking up about 11 or 11:30. But anyway, prayers go out to her and everything. All right, guys. And we just wish more information, and everything is going to come out soon, sooner than later. All right. And I guess we're still here. And for the apocalypse, not the apocalypse, the rapture. Today is September the 24th. I'm still here. And I wasn't planning on going anywhere anyway. I knew I was going to be here. Because like I said, I don't believe in man. I believe in God. And y'all see that running across the bottom, Black Titanic and Terry Matthews was the winners of the, can anybody name my favorite restaurant? That is over now. So thank you guys. Anybody else guess? We're not accepting any more winners. We got the two. And thank you guys for playing that game with me. And I will be coming up with something new for us. And I do want to thank everybody for helping me to get to my 6,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to go ahead and end here. Whew, this was good, guys. Good information. Good information. Good information. All right. And I'll see y'all another time.